Yo, this is Vibe. My name is Preedy, and well, the way I got into entertainment is trial, error, luck, chance, and the grace of God. Started off, my first opportunity singing was I was in preschool, and my mom wanted me to sing Greatest Love of All for my graduation, which was a difficult song now for me to sing. So imagine being 7 and 8. So, and trial and error, I wrote my first song in primary school, standard 3, Timothy, youths of the society, come on, listen to me. Me and Timothy. It was a corny song, but I got a couple third places. We won the school competition. So then after that, nothing again. Secondary school, I entered junior soca monarch, didn't make it to the finals. Retired again from singing. Then I started off dancing, entered a couple of competitions, then entered Soca Star, came second to last at Soca Star, retired again. Retired from dancing, gave up music entirely, and then a couple, like 2 years after, a friend from Soca Star called and asked if I wanted to join a writing competition for Precision Production, and we won the competition. Started off writing Precision for 2 years, and then I wrote a song called Whining Champion that nobody couldn't sing. Casey gave me the opportunity to sing it, and been upward trajectory since. What kept me going all these years, funny enough, is the fact that when I remember lying down and looking up at the ceiling and thinking that I wanted to do something different in this life if this was the only life that I had. And I prayed, and I like singing, so the thought was always in the back of my brain that, I could be an artist. And every time I give up something, God always continue throwing something in my way to either inspire me or turn me in the direction that I need to be turned. So it's not the fact that what kept me going, but I think God have a purpose to me, so I think I have to keep on going. Music means everything to me. Music is how I survive. Music is my identity. Music is my legacy. Music is everything. I came from, thinking that I didn't have a purpose in this life, that I would just be, hitting the 9 to 5, and there's nothing against anybody that does it. But I just thought I'd just be probably even doing crime, because I really didn't know what I'd be doing in this life. And the chips was always stacked up against me coming from Maloney, just simply being black, and these things has really affect your mental as a youth. And I say knowing only because that's the consensus, but knowing that you don't really have much options out there. So I can't really tell you the why, only that I think what would slow me down is the fact that I tend to overthink a lot of things, and I believe in being organic. I believe in just allowing the natural pace of things to happen, because I have this weird notion that sometimes when the faster you rush things is the faster it depletes and leaves you. So my career is something that I want to enjoy and learn the tricks and learn why this happened and why this didn't happen and stuff like that. So for me, I think the journey is perfectly poised to happen the way it's supposed to. What I know I could have done more is more marketing and stuff like that. I'm an extremely hilarious person. I class clown. I love to just make people laugh, but I haven't tapped into my social media presence as much as I probably should. But definitely now I feel love. I think the organicness has done enough, because I think in this industry especially, it pays more knowing that you're paying the work and you pay the dues. I don't understand what paying the dues are and the benefits of paying the dues, because nobody does tell you what's the benefit of paying your dues. Everybody just say you have to pay your dues, you have to pay your dues, but why? And for me, the lessons that I've learned paying dues, nobody could pay me for that. Like, good season, bad season, I sure already know what to do. I sure the DJs who I need to know to talk to the program directors, I need to talk to the interviews, I need to go the kind of song, what song, I intend, I do Young Kings, I experiencing things that I thought I would not need or I didn't value, and now I'm gaining so much value for the industry and seeing it bigger than it actually is. To gain the respect of the legends, the Marshall, the Destra, Super Blue is my partner. And that actually endorsement was shocking because Terry does always say she father don't like any and everybody. So for him to kind of give me that endorsement, anytime I see Super Blue, it's high fives and hugs like that. He's my big brother. And it feels good. And most artists need these things because you need some kind of accreditation from the people that has been there before you to at least notify that, hey, you're on the right path, or pivot and move. And I always say one of the greatest advice I ever got in the industry actually came from Marshall. That was the reason why I got married actually, because his advice was to find balance. And every year I would run up to Marshall and be like, Marshall, I find balance, I'm doing better this year. He was like, no son, that is not it. And I keep, during the pandemic is when I truly understood what the word balance means. And the way you balance is not the same way I balance. The things that I might need to balance me on this part of life might not be the same things that you need. So I made it a conscious effort to live my life the way it best benefits me, but also not just depend on music to bring all my happiness, because it is a fleeting joy. After Carnival done or after a big greatest hit, people tend to throw it to the wayside. So my balance is having my family also add now to the purpose of my life. Whereas I'm not just doing music for me, I'm doing music for them. But they know even in a bad year, I am still him. I still the goat, I still the boss, I still daddy, I still husband, and I still love. So for me, that it goes along. So having a wife, being married, being a father, honestly has brought a lot of stability. I grew up in a very unstable circumstances. I moved a lot. I probably moved like over 10 times in my life. I've lived from Maloney to Laventille to Carney to Tobago to Waterfield to back Maloney, outer Maloney back. So I really had a really unstable life growing up, Maybe that is why I so kind of helter-skelter sometimes. And having a family of my own definitely brought a lot of stability. It gave me a lot of direction. It helped me to understand that, I don't have to be out there doing certain things to get through. There's a lot of people that look up to me that live in the same circumstances I live. Case in point, songs like Say It. I don't think Say It would have been possible if I wasn't married or I didn't love the person who I was with. And I use my music to tap into a different emotion. And that is what family has done for me. It has opened up a whole different side of me creatively and forced me to not only make music for the wine and the jam and the jump and the wave, but it has also forced me to make music for the lovers and the tumultuous relationships and the kids who do have a purpose and all they need to do is to pray and these things. So it definitely has a extremely positive impact for me. Respect. Success for me is respect. Because respect is something that I work in my way to earn. I don't think I have full 100 respect of, and it's not the individuals, but the industry. I'm willing to prove that I here to be a top dog. And in terms of respect from the promoters, the DJs, even the fans, I need everybody to understand that there is not a point in time when I leave my house to do this that I don't take this serious. I don't have no plan B. I don't plan C. This is it for me. So and criticism never bothered me. I grew up around critics and haters. So I know the difference between when someone is criticizing it for your betterment and then other than criticizing it to tear down. So respect for me that is what every legend holds and has without even asking for or begging for, going on Instagram and crying for. And I'm willing to work and ensure that my foundation is one that I can look back and always be respected. Advice for any new artist is the same advice I just gave Crystal, Tevin Hartman, all the Rashawn, all the artists that I see coming up here in Duncan, which is this is only 20% talent. The game is not, if it was all about talent, then couldn't stop it. But it's about 20% talent and 80% everything else, how much time you put in on the ground, knowing the DJs, knowing the promoters, knowing who's. I just had an incident where, funny enough, Akeem Reloaded was showing my scene where an artist made a comment to him, and the artist I know for sure was probably joking, but it was, he didn't understand that Akeem Reloaded is not just a DJ. He's somebody that frequents in Calypso. He has been in the game for years. He has been writing. So not everybody has their own personality. So sometimes when the game going slow, don't get frustrated. Just pull out your book, your notepad, and learn the game. And most importantly, have somebody there that is not connected to the industry that you could go through. That could be your safe space, your safe haven, because you will need that. You know, and the hardest time, listen carefully, hardest time after artist in an artist's career is at it's the year after you get a hit, the biggest hit. After that, you're fighting to stay afloat, or you're fighting, chasing after that hit. So for me, the best thing I can tell you to do in that situation is never get settled. Always be in the state of mind that it's about betterment, it's about improving every single year, because you will need that mindset to survive in this soca game, this carnival game especially. Because trust me, you literally are only as good as your last hit. My name is Preedy. Right now, live, live in color. And you know this carnival, we jamming. Yeah, we live in love from the time we touch the ground. Bam, bam, bidam, it's all away. And the love take over away. Yeah, man.